What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. The Mistral Lift is the newest adaptive linear fusion rifle. It's rewarded out of this year's Dawning. This is a free-to-play event, which means the Mistral Lift and all the other Dawning weapons can be earned by everyone, even if you don't have any of the expansions. While most players might think about passing up on this year's lineup of weapons, the Mistral Lift is a unique pickup that you really want to get. It's been a while since we saw linear fusion rifles as the predominant source of optimal damage, but when that time comes back again, the Mistral Lift will be one of the most powerful options. I mean, hell, against Veist, it helped me put up over 8 million points of damage. Some of that might have been because of the Xdaris, but a lot of it was because of the Mistral Lift and its outstanding combinations of weapon perks. With this being an adaptive framed fusion rifle, it fires out a 3-round burst with a base charge time of 533. When it comes to base stats and overall performance, the Mistral Lift is in many ways like the Void variant of the Scintillation. But I would give the advantage to the Mistral Lift because of its stellar lineup of weapon traits. This has the option of selecting the Veist Stinger origin trait, which has proven to be a great option when it comes to sustained damage. As you land consecutive shots on targets, you have a chance of reloading a portion of the magazine. When this activates, you're going to regain 25% of your magazine, so with backup mag giving us up to 7 in the mag, we would see 2 rounds getting reloaded. There is a 7-second cooldown between activations, so in a 30 to 40 second damage phase, we could see this activating around 4 to 5 times. The biggest downside of any adaptive framed fusion rifle is the recoil that's created off of the 3 consecutive shots being fired, and because of that we would like to have Arrowhead Brake as a barrel option to be able to reduce our recoil and improve our handling. I prefer to have accelerated coils as the battery type, which would reduce our charge time by 40 milliseconds, dropping us down to a charge time of 493. Liquid Coils would be a great alternative that would take things in a bit different of a direction, as it would increase our impact damage at the cost of charge time, but I'd much rather have the reduced charge time, which is why I would recommend going for a charge time masterwork. If you do find yourself struggling at landing consecutive precision shots with this type of weapon, you might want to consider stability as the masterwork option instead. When it comes to our 3rd and 4th column options, there's a few standout combinations that you should go for. The first is Withering Gaze and Precision Instrument. This isn't the most optimal option, but it's a fantastic combination for when you don't have any other options to weaken enemies. After aiming down sights for just over a second, your next burst will cause targets to take on a 15% weakening debuff, instantly increasing our damage without even factoring in our 4th column trait. I find Withering Gaze to pair up best with Precision Instrument. Bait and switch is an option here, and we'll talk about it further here soon, but because its damage bonus is tied into applying damage with all 3 weapons, you'd run the risk of not proccing bait and switch if it takes you too long to go through your rotation, when you've also got to wait on Withering Gaze. Precision Instrument builds up a stacking damage bonus that starts at 4%, and it builds up to as much as a 25% bonus with 6 stacks, and that'll get bumped up to a max of 30% whenever Precision Instrument is enhanced. When used against Callus in the legendary Desperate Measures mission, Precision Instrument will put out just over 20,000 points of damage off of each round within a burst, and just over 21,000 points of damage when it's enhanced. It'll take 3 total shots to reach our 30% bonus, providing of course you land at least 2 precision hits out of every 3-round burst, with Withering Gaze applying that debuff on the very first bolt. With grenade launchers weakening enemies for us, I do think that Precision Instrument is going to work out really well with Envious Assassin or Envious Arsenal. Envious Assassin would see us having as many as 17 shots to use, so if we can maintain that 30% bonus damage, we could end up putting out some serious levels of damage, especially when we've got Veist Stinger returning ammo. But in the end, bait and switch is a much more consistent option that gives us a 30% bonus in damage over an 11-second period of time, and all we have to do is deal damage from all 3 weapons, which means the bait and switch will trigger after the very first bolt hits a target, allowing us to get into our maximum damage bonus faster than Precision Instrument. Whenever used against Callus, Bait and Switch puts up right under 22,000 points of damage, and since we're able to get that to the maximum threshold a lot faster, we're ultimately going to put up more damage than Precision Instrument. Envious Assassin would go great with Bait and Switch, especially since we're going to have up to 17 rounds in the mag. But if we are in short supply of rank and file enemies, Envious Arsenal can become a much more reliable option, as we'll trigger automatic reloading of this weapon after dealing damage with our other two, which we're already having to do because of Bait and Switch. So in a perfect world where we have weakening debuffs getting applied from other sources, like grenade launchers, then we would want to go with Bait and Switch with either Envious Arsenal or Envious Assassin. But if this is our source of applying those weakening debuffs, then Withering Gaze and Precision Instrument will be the route that we want to go. And with that said, we've covered just about everything on this magnificent new weapon, the Mistral Lift, a weapon that you might not need right now, but you're going to need in the future. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this fusion rifle, and if it's something that you'll be farming for over the next few weeks. Let us know down in the comments below. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.